it's how you played, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's just very encouraging to play that well, especially the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think I think that's exactly the point. It's not just winning; it's as important how you win, and I think we were building towards that game. You know, I thought parts of game one, larger parts of game two, and you know, we finally got kind of you know, a complete effort, and obviously they were off a little bit, and that helped. And you know, they're going to fix that, but I think we're getting an idea of how we have to play in this series in order to have success.
Do you see the carryover effect from last night?
What's
Do you
that?
see the carryover effect from last night then?
Into the next game?
Right.
Yeah, well, I know how we have to play. I know they're going to respond. I know they're going to have, you know, they're obviously going to play better than they did. You know, it's on us to continue to build on that game we had last night. And, you know, we know it's not going to look like that. We're not going to have breakaways and 2-on-1s and the type of rush stuff we got last night. Maybe not again in the series, but, you know, I think we've got a good blueprint of how we want to play. And, you know, I expect next game to be a real tough game.
Speaking of the rush stuff, so Bruce was asked about it last night, and he said that he thought it was the adjustment you made in game two and carried over to game three, where out quicker, rim arounds, and the winning goal was a good example of that.
Yeah.
A, is that correct? And B, you know they're going to
Yeah.
adjust.
Well, the game's all about adjustments, right? I think game to game in these playoff series. So, you know, I think, you know, both coaches, I think, want to let each other watch film and figure out what the other one's doing. Let's make each other work a little bit. But so I'm not going to, you know, get into the adjustments we made. But that's the cat and mouse of a playoff series is, you know, we make an adjustment, you know, they'll adjust to that adjustment. Now we've got to be prepared for that.
Like, I don't know, I'm trying to ask you in a way that you can answer. But like generally, like how long does an adjustment last, right? Like he's going to, like, look, you guys are way smarter than I am and are going to see things, but like once you do that, does it last a game, game and a half?
I think when you've got two good teams in a playoff series like this, you know, a game, sometimes maybe a period, you know, before somebody neutralizes that. I thought as the game went on, they obviously slowed it down a little bit there in the third period and did some things to slow it down. I thought we got it back again in the overtime. So, you know, it's all about execution though. Like, you know, the coaches are going to put in adjustments. At the end of the day, it's execution and it's winning, you know, those battles. You know, you can draw up all you want, but, you know, a lot of it's one-on-one confrontations that you have to win.
How much of it last night your back's against the wall, and is that still the mindset for tomorrow?
I think so. Well, for sure last night. I mean, that's desperation time. We were down to these guys 3-0 last year, and even though we scratched back, it's too big a hole to climb out of. So we knew that was a must-win. You know, I think we have the same desperation level. I think when you play a game like that, you know, you feel like this is a new series now. And, you know, we have a chance to really kind of grab this back next game. So that should be our desperation level.
The way you play last night, you know, in the regular season, that could have been a 6-1, a 4-1 win. You go to overtime. Does that just speak to how competitive it's going to be in this series?
Yeah, that's a great question, Leah, and you're right. You know, I think it speaks to two things. It speaks to Logan Thompson. You know, I thought he was exceptional. But, you know, any good teams this time of year, you're probably getting exceptional goaltending or they wouldn't be here. And it's also, you know, that time of year. And, you know, for us, there's a good learning lesson in that because as well as we played through 40 minutes, you know, it's a 2-2 game because we didn't finish and put them away. So that's the lesson going forward. You know, we've got to put those games out of reach when we have the opportunity again.
You've said that you like the way that your game's been building. I guess what part of it is improved the most? Is it the compete level? Is it the
I think no. Well, no. Well, you know, I think those all areas, but you know, for me, just you know, they were the number one rush team in the league from the All-Star game on. So I think, we've done a good job through 3 games. They got loose twice last night and scored, I think, on both. Through game 1 and 2, we didn't give them hardly anything. So we've done a good job building our game and trying to take that away. Part of it is playing out in front. It's easier to play with a lead and manage that. And the other piece of that is trying to break them down defensively. And I think even though we didn't get results in game 1 and 2, I thought we showed big improvement game 1 to 2. Game 2, we got inside. We got some really good looks. Logan Thompson made some really sneaky good saves in that game, particularly in the third period or the second half of that game. That I thought we really could have got rewarded on. So we've got to continue to build on that. And I thought we did again last night.
Speaking of adjustments, how did you like Smith and Delandria and the construction of the lines?
Yeah. I mean, the lines gave us some juice. I think there were some guys that were feeling a little frustrated, not about our game, but about not a lack of finish through the first 2 games. So I thought that gave us a little bit of a bump. I thought those guys gave us some real good juice, some good legs. It's a skating series, fast team. Both those guys can go. So I thought that they were helpful.
You played very fast as a team. Was that because of the changes, or just because you need the desperation you needed to?
I think all those things. I think the changes, a couple of the personnel in. I think some attention to detail in what we're doing to let us do that. And then also, getting the lead and making them have to open it up a little bit.
Or Marchman Fox is skating today?
Yeah, they're both skating today, so I would call them game time tomorrow.
You guys played mostly 5 defensemen. Is that a concern, especially with overtime? And
No.
how do you adjust to it?
No, it's not a concern this time of the playoffs. I think we're fresh. All those guys are used to playing minutes. If we're still having these sessions a month from now, then it might be. But
Good problem to have.
yeah, we're day to day right now.
Yeah.